coaching, Managua, Nicaragua.
Me gustan los aviones, me gustas tú. Me gusta viajar, me gustas tú. Me gusta la mañana, me gustas tú. Me gusta el viento, me gustas tú. Me gusta soñar, me gustas tú. Me gusta la mar, me gustas tú. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Je ne sais pas. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Je ne sais pas.
Hello everybody, it is a monkey from LightningJet Studios here, doing my first Q&A. 3 people have entered questions, but we have a lot more than 3 questions. We have around 8. I'm going to be going into long-form answers to a lot of these questions, just because we have so few, and I want to make this a decently, length video. A decent length video. I'm going to start off here with a question from Andrea 012-N1V, and they ask, what is your favorite aircraft? Okay, my favorite aircraft is the Airbus A321neo with a black mask. Just that with a black mask on whatever airline it is, apart from a few airlines, looks really good. I do kind of like it. It looks very nice, very slick, modern, clean. As well as the A320neo, which is the same thing, just a bit shorter. Again, black mask, slick, modern, clean. That looks really cool as well. Anyway, I just love planes that have black masks on them. The A350 looks really good with a black mask. I love that plane. It's cool and everything. Okay, now we have questions here from Catfish, as I said. So Scrubwood Studios Catfish at Scrubwood Studios has written in with 6 questions, not about aviation, but Among Us and some general life stuff. Okay, I'll read the comment. A few questions from Catfish, all about Among Us, because I don't know much about aviation, unfortunately, which is fine. I understand that you and Chompstat, okay, your context for Chompstat for the day. Chompstat is someone in a small Among Us Discord server who appears in a lot of my videos. He's one of the key players in in the server. There's around 30 of us who play, but the server currently has maybe 80 members, something like that. Maybe more. Anyway, Chompstat he appears in a lot of my videos, and Catfish is talking about me knowing him IRL, which I do. I understand that you knew Chompstat IRL a long time before I even got to know of you. Were you just not playing Among Us much at this point? That is Catfish's first question. Yes, that is true. I was not playing Among Us. Your assumption is correct. I was not playing Among Us a lot at that point. I had it installed with some other plain game thing, because it was some kind of bundle package thing. And then, one of my friends recommended, not Chomp, but one of my friends recommended Among Us to me, and I knew I had it installed somewhere, and I was like, okay, I'll give this a try. And then it's come to mainly what my days are: school, Among Us, and aviation. Next question. Do you have a favorite Among Us content creator? Not counting Catfish. He's not counting himself or Chompstat, because I play with them. So I don't really. I play Among Us. I don't really watch other people play Among Us unless it's you, Catfish, or Chomp, or some other random thing. I mean, I do get kind of a few ideas from Clazz's videos of just killing in different rooms. You've seen that before, but I don't necessarily watch his videos. It's just like where I get ideas and inspiration from. So the answer to that is no. No, not really. If it was not Among Us and it was aviation, then I'd say favorite aviation content creators would be AO Plane Spotting ITA, Orly, the Italian AvGeek, or Cool AvGeek. I'm missing someone, I don't know who. Anyway, those would be my like favorite aviation, or Adrian's aviation. Those wise for like aviation, but for Among Us, no, I don't. If I'm not allowed to count you and Jump. Next question here from Catfish is, why is Chimpanzee top of the Chomps list? Okay, so for people who don't know what the Chomps list is, right? It's when I made a short ranking all of the Chompstat, like parody usernames and stuff. So the ones on that list were Chomp, Chompstat, Chimpstat, Chimpanzee, and StompChat. So why is Chimpanzee top of the Chomps list? There's a very simple answer to this question, and I'd say it is, I'd say I like the answer I've given. I have planned for this one. So, why it's top of the Chomps list is pretty much because it's a funny name and it also relates to monkeys. That's your answer. And also, I think StompChat is pretty funny, but like I just don't think it's as good. Chimpstat is like interesting. Yeah. Those are my answers there. I definitely like Chompstat more than Chomp. Anyway, whatever. Another question. Why is the fish hat objectively the best hat in Among Us? I don't know if this is, for people who don't know, it's the hat I wear on my head when I play Among Us, and sometimes you see, well, a lot of the time you see Chomp, well, almost all the time, you see Chomp wearing it as well. And then also Catfish wears it, and yeah, so the current name of the server is currently the Fish Cult. Anyway, so that's the fish hat. Why is it objectively the best? I don't know why it's objectively the best hat. I don't know why everyone seems to like it, but when one person started to wear it, everyone else started to wear it, and it became a thing. So that is that. On to the next question. What was the first video of mine you watched, and what did you internally think of it? The first video of yours I watched, Catfish, was Chompfish the movie. Yeah. So the history behind that is that so I had Chomp on as a DM on Discord, and then I went and I was like, I hadn't seen this like DM like chat thing for like a decent amount of time, and then I get like notifications, and it's like, Chomp's like, oh well, I played with this guy, and this was obviously before the start of the 7. I was like, so it's like, I played with this guy. His name's Catfish. He has like he has a YouTube channel, and it's like, I'm like, okay, cool. And then Chomp's like, maybe I should start something. Well, then he like, yeah, obviously starts a channel, and then so how this all links up is then he sent me the link, and I'm like, is this the imposter game you were telling me about? And he's like, yeah. And then it's like, And then I click on the link. I'm like, okay, cool. I watched through it. I'm like, well, people who haven't seen it, it's like it's an Among Us game, but it's where it's the first game Catfish and Chomp got imposted together. Anyway, I'll link it in the description. Anyway, it was the first game that they got imp together with, and then it was very tense to watch. What did I think of it? I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, that was the first video I watched. So I was like, I'm gonna like have a look at some other videos of hers, and it's like, okay. So there's like some other Among Us games on here. I was like, oh, there's dinosaur stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, wow. And yeah, so what I thought of the Chomp movie thing was like, it was cool, and then I started watching a bit more of your content, Catfish. Because like I didn't know if that was a one-off thing, if your editing was shit or something, which I can tell you it's not. But like, because if that was a one-off thing and it was actually well edited, and if the other videos were all gonna be shit, then I wasn't gonna like, But luckily they all weren't shit, so that's what I thought of the first video. Anyway, okay, who is the best player in the server? Okay, this question is interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna answer this. Oh, and the second part of the question is, and why is it Goblin? Okay, so do you mean Zoblin? Because if you mean Goblin, I don't know what you mean. Because why is it Zoblin? Why is it Zoblin? I don't know why it's Zoblin. Because I got the idea from Goblin, and then thought, what letter can I put in front of it? And then that ended up being Zoblin, and I came up with a skin for Zoblin. And then I had another genius idea, and it's not called Zoblin, it's called Roblin. Anyway, I might use that at some point. Roblin. Okay, but who is the best player on the server? I don't know if I'm going to answer that properly, or in the way you want, or the answer you want. The best, like the best player. It's very like it's cool. It's like very. I think we're all pretty good. You and Chomp are pretty good. Reploid's pretty good. I don't know. Oh, Plan's good. Grog is good. Me and Al are good. Well, yeah. Trey is good. He doesn't play very much anymore. Circuit's good. I don't know. I don't know who I'd say is the best. For people who don't know the server, I think I explained this already, but the server is where I get all the people who play Among Us with me. And like Catfish and Chomp, so that's why it's usually like quite a few of the same people. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know the proper answer for that. Anyway, last question here. Now we're finished with the Catfish's questions. I have now another aviation question from Reploid, who I was just talking about. It is, in your opinion, what was the most significant air disaster in history, and why? Okay. Most significant. I've put a lot of thought into this. I'd say, so there's like a few, but a lot of people would say most significant is the Tenerife airport disaster, where two 747s crashed into each other because of radio miscontrol and shit. Anyway, there's like that, and then there's also like MH17, which was a Malaysia Airlines 777 flying over Russia, got shot down. Yeah, that. the most significant air disaster, or MH370, which is still not to be found, but everyone on board believed to be dead after it went missing in 2013 or 14. I think it was 2013. Went missing flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Another 777 that is still missing to this day. We assume it has crashed. There was debris found off the coast of Perth, Australia, and then again you also have 2 737 MAX crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia in 2019, 2020. Those were pretty jamming. And that was the downfall of Boeing. So, most significant disaster in history. I think there's definitely something I'd be missing, but like I'm not about to go back to something that happened and it's like, okay, well, this was just a problem with design back then, and that's like just a thing. Like Japan Airlines Flight 123, like that was just a problem back then. Or the 9/11 hijackings, like that is just not a thing anymore, pretty much. So I would say my answer to this would probably be, so either, I think, so I have two answers. I'd say, or maybe, I'd say 3. No, 3. Okay. So one I haven't talked about, but so my first answer would be MH370, which is like, the thing is, it pretty much like we're pretty sure it's crashed, but the thing about this is that like very significant because like how can it just go missing, kind of thing. Yeah, like what? How can it just go missing? How can you never find it again? Yeah. Then there was the 2737 Max crashes in 2019. Which were also like a bit like what the is happening? Like seriously, you've got 2 737 Maxes, pretty new, pretty fresh, crashing because of a flippin' software issue, hard drive thing, and it's like more than 400 people die because of that, and then it just absolutely destroys Boeing for the next 10 years, pretty much. And that is still happening today, and things like that. And then my other answer was Germanwings, which is now Eurowings, where a pilot pretty much just committed suicide, flew the plane into the side of a mountain. I'm like, yeah, I can't, yeah, it's like, seriously, like, this is pretty much a problem that you've got of pilots just flying planes into mountains. So now you've got, like, these things so that they can't really do that anymore. Like, protection systems and stuff. Yeah, but then all those things went bye-bye when when they just decided, like, nah, it's fine. We don't need to do it anymore. Anyway, for the people who don't know the protocol of it, it's pretty much one pilot that you always need 2 people in the cockpit at the same time. So, like, a pilot goes to the bathroom, like, they leave the cockpit, go to the bathroom, then the crew bring out a cart, they block the door to the cockpit. This is so, like, it's to stop hijackings as well. Then, like, one of the crew goes into the cockpit, so it's with the, with the other pilot, right? And then they just make sure the other pilot doesn't do anything stupid. Then second pilot comes back in, cabin crew leave, put the cart away, and it's done, right? Anyway, that is what happens now. That's also to prevent hijacking. Also, 9/11, I'd say, was pretty significant. Anyways, those are my answers for you, Reploid. Thank you everyone for entering questions. Hope you liked this video. And I'll see you guys shortly for more aviation and more Among Us. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.